I'm George Sells. Governor Edwards has declared a state of emergency in the Bogalusa area. 25 hours after it began, hundreds of residents of Bogalusa are still away from their homes because of a chemical leak on the grounds of that big downtown paper plant. And now new evacuations have just been ordered, including people in a pair of housing projects. And emergency crews have run into new problems with a tank car. The downtown streets of the city of 14,000 people are deserted. More than 1,000 people who lived immediately around the Gaylord Chemical Plant and paper plant still had not been allowed to return to their homes when the additional evacuation was ordered an hour ago. State police crews have now decided not to offload the chemical, but instead to neutralize it inside the tank car. They were going to try and transfer the nitrogen tetroxide out of the tank car, but the pump broke. And now the hole is getting bigger in the side of the car, making the ordeal even dicier. So strong are the fumes that acid from the leaking gas has eaten away the paint on the license plates of a nearby fire truck. More than 400 people have been sent to hospitals in and around Bogalusa, mostly with minor injuries. We're going to be switching live to WAFB reporter James Rose in Bogalusa in about 5 minutes, and we want to point out one other new development, and that is that a curfew has been imposed in Bogalusa after the hour of 8 o'clock. Well, of course, the big topic of interest for most people registering is the governor's race. Cleo Fields and Mike Foster are still acquainting themselves with much of the voting public. And tonight, WAFB's... Well, as we told you, things are changing rapidly in Bogalusa, where evacuations have been expanded and emergency crews are warning their efforts to control the chemical leak could go well into the night. Let's check in live now with WAFB's James Rose, not far from the site of the leak. James?
About an hour ago, decided to evacuate residents in two housing complexes south of the spill site. The reason they want to do that is so that they can pump more neutralizing agent into that tank car to expedite the process. They are planning on moving those folks pretty soon, and we're going to stay on top of that and let you know a little more about it. But let's take a look at how things began today.
Federal officials.
At daybreak, the president of Gaylord Chemical addressed the media for the first time since the toxic fumes began spewing Monday afternoon. We've heard reports from area residents and officials that they had had this smell for 2 to 3 days. Can you confirm that?
No, I cannot. No, there has not been a leak that I know of, and I cannot confirm that or deny that.
A short time later, a toxic gray cloud headed south toward the command post. State police, emergency workers, and media members scrambled for a safer location north of the toxic site. State police hazardous material crews spent the day trying to dilute the chemical leak, reduce the pressure, and secure the situation. Meanwhile, more than 1,000 residents wanted to go home.
When the clips, I can go home. I just feel bad about the whole situation. I'm losing a day's work.
Oh, they scared me to death. It sure did. Oh, I thought it would come up in a vein in a minute.
Initial injuries of nearly a dozen police and firemen are raising questions about Gaylord Chemical's reporting procedures.
I didn't have any anger at that point in time. We're going to think this thing through, and we're going to get some information from Gaylord. You know, we think they're a good corporate company, but we're going to find out exactly what happened.
An investigation will not begin until the site is safe and secure. And trying to determine when this situation will be safe and secure, no one wants to go on record saying they're taking all the time and caution necessary. I just learned that the mayor has implemented a curfew tonight for all residents in Bogalusa at 8 o'clock. They are to remain indoors. If not, they will be arrested. George and Donna?
Okay, James Rose, one quick question, James. We're hearing all sorts of numbers on the number of people who have turned themselves into hospitals because of eye irritation or whatever. How many are you, what number are you using over there now?
Last night, from hospital officials, we learned there are about 150 people in the Bogalusa area that went to two separate hospitals. Now, the number we heard in a 20-mile radius of here was upwards of that number, about 300 plus, but we have not been able to confirm that.
Okay, thanks very much. James Rose reporting live from Bogalusa. As they change the way they attack this whole thing, they are now going to try to flood out the chemical in that tank car on the grounds of Gaylord Chemical. Hopefully, that'll be done sometime tonight.